Stan. Here we are. Doesn't get any better, does it? Doesn't get any better. I've already done this video. The camera crapped itself. Why doesn't I put in this phone save videos to SD card? That's how I was able to save some of my videos from my channel, even though I've lost 330 videos. My own stupidity, impetuousness. This craps itself again. I don't know what I'm going to do. It just crapped itself halfway through, 5 minutes in. So I said earlier on, right, so I need to manage my time more to do the YouTube thing, which is alright. Just I got a little bit excited with myself, and I was going to pack it in, and I didn't want to do that really. I enjoy doing it. I mean, most of the stuff it was not me talking crap anyway, wasn't it? So I'll just have to re-talk crap and try and make up for lost time. Starting today. See, there's about 65 videos on my channel now, so that's enough. That's enough. Guess the film for the second time. See the film? There you go. I did notice yesterday, a little thing popped up that one of my old mates from the rugby club was watching. He'd been wondering where I was and what I'd been up to. Nothing much. I just create my own private museum. I've been doing that before. I packed in plane, to be honest, but it's just, I need something to focus my mind, you know. Like today, I'm off scot-free because the rugby's on. Italy, France, 3 o'clock, I think. So I can't be bothered because I'm watching the rugby. That's the plan. So what we're doing today. Good. So this, yeah, mate from rugby, if you're watching, yeah, this is what I get up to. Bit of hobby, collecting stuff like that. He's probably thinking, God, I didn't know you had one of these. Well, it's not a real one, it's a replica. But we'll get to that. I'm just watching this timer here. I don't want this video to pack in halfway through. Okay, right. I'll get to the page I was on. I've already done this. Typical, isn't it? Typical. Right. So the Ppsh41 was used by the Russians in World War II. I'll find the page where I was at before. Give me a second. It did have a box magazine as well. See the picture? There. So, the Ppsh machine pistol was designed and developed by Russian designer Georgy Shapagin. The first model appeared in 1940. And basically what they did was they cleaned all the parts with kerosene and left it bone dry and artificially put crap and dirt in there. And they still managed, they wanted to fire 5,000 rounds without cleaning it. And it performed really well. This one's going to fall on my foot here, I think. God, nothing's going right today. Stay there. Yeah, so it performed really well. So it was introduced into the Russian Army, the Red Army, in 1940. And it was designed for a service of a minimum of 30,000 rounds. And afterwards, the weapon would demonstrate satisfactory accuracy, reliability. When it was introduced, sheet metal pressings weren't as common, weren't as widely used. Nevertheless, machine pistols parts were manufactured using metal pressing technology. Individual parts, 2 to 5mm thick sheet metal. Metal could be saved, production costs lowered, and the drum magazine was taken from the earlier PPD-40. The machine pistol only had 2 threaded connections in total. Almost 6 million were manufactured. The Wehrmacht, German Army of World War II, or the German Armed Forces of World War II, thought the highly indestructible weapon captured examples were not only used unofficially by soldiers, but also became part of the official armament. The designation was the MP717R Russian. So there was also models that were retrofitted to take the 9mm parabellum cartridge, same as the Luger and the MP40. The Ppsh was one of the best weapons in its class. It was indestructible. It's a bit heavy, that was all. Also, on my little notes that I wrote down, because I'm reading out of a book, so I just couldn't be bothered writing it all down. I'm writing all that down. So, yeah, that and a bit of internet. I've lost my place now. Actually, a couple of people did email me and say, oh, I'm glad you're keeping on going, because we appreciate the half-assed way you do it, or something along those lines. I think they said humorous. I don't mean to be humorous. Just the way I am, I suppose. I can't help it. Right, so anyway, we all the German Army. They used it and retrofitted it, the 9mm parabellum cartridge, and they called it the MP41R for Russian. So, see a little drink of juice. It's very hard talking, you know, even though I'm quite good at it. So the current users, Albania, Angola, North Korea, licensed copy, Type 49, dates back to the Korean War. Russian separatist forces in the Donbass, so it is being used in the current conflict out there. The former users: Afghanistan, Bulgaria, China made a copy, Croatia, Cuba, Czech, DDR, East Germany of course, Estonia, Estonian partisans, Finland, Georgia, Guinea-Bissau, Hungary, Indonesia, Iraq, Iran, Italian partisans captured off German soldiers, Laos, Latvia, Lebanese National Movement, Lesotho, Mongolia, Nazi Germany, as was stated earlier, North Vietnamese Army, or North Vietnam, Viet Minh, Viet Cong, NVA, Poland, Romania, Sierra Leone, Somalia, South Korea, obviously the Soviets, Yugoslavia had a locally made M49 variant. Some of them are up for sale now with some of the bigger deactivated people, dealers, and Zimbabwe. So, caliber 7.62 millimeters, muzzle velocity 500 meters a second, firing rate 900 rounds a minute, 4.1 to 5.3 kilograms to 5.3 kilograms, magazine capacity 35 or 71 with the drum magazine, operational range 200 meters. So if you put that up against an MP40, I've got one up there somewhere, I should have brought the other one down. You're talking the MP40, 400 rounds a minute, I think. 400 rounds a minute against 900 rounds a minute, over double coming at you. So yeah. So what do I use it for display wise? If we just turn around this way a little bit. I don't want to upset the apple cart. You never know with my channel here. This fella here, I've seen him before, the Grenztrupp and the DDR, Ivan. He is done up. See his magazine pouch there. He's got it. He's done up like a bodyguard of the DDR, and that's what I use it for. There was a photograph of two bodyguards. I've been in contact with a couple of people about it. They said that there might be barrack police. I did just type in DDR bodyguards, and they don't have the cuff title and the same uniform. It's a hang on a minute, 2 seconds. Dust. I should come in here and dust really. I care more about anything else. Yeah, so it's just I like the way they looked, and I thought I've set up a sort of, if you like. But most of my stuff is sort of. So let's get to this one. This is my version of it. Now, it's a Denix, and I do have a couple of Denixes, and they have their pros and they have their cons. Now, first of all, in the United Kingdom, to own a replica, a Denix replica, because of the VCR, Violent Crime Reduction Act. Now, I don't know, should have wrote it down, but couldn't be bothered again. There are, I don't know. I don't know if it's illegal to own them, but it's illegal to buy them. I think someone can put in the comments that. But to buy one, you need a defence, and your defence can be that you're part of a reenacting group, a living history group, which I am, or you are. I think. So I should have looked this up, shouldn't I? It's not classic car owner. I think it's if you've got a car that's registered, or a vehicle that's registered to the national. Basically, imagine if you had a Jeep. You could get one of these, couldn't you? Because you go into shows and stuff. But there's like a national database for historical vehicles, something like that. Theatre groups, etc., etc., etc. Airsoft. I don't know if you have to be an airsofter to get airsoft in full colour, like this, because you buy these in airsoft capability to fire plastic pellets. But I don't know whether you could get a replica. You probably could. So you need a defence. Again, I'm not sure whether it's illegal to own one. But if you can't buy one, you can't own one, can you? I suppose. I don't know. Anyway, so that's where we are. Like I say, I have got a defence for owning one. Deactivated ones would set you back about 600 quid, maybe 700 quid nowadays, and they will be EU specs, or no cock, no click. Probably the cock and handle will move under pressure. I've got a PPS 43 that does that, and you know, we all come on these channels and we say, oh, it's a shame, it's this, it's that. It is, and we can't do anything about it. It's not going to go back over. It is what it is, and my thoughts on it. If the prices had stayed, you know, obviously they're going to go up over time. If it stayed relatively, you know, they hadn't. But basically, I've said it before in other videos, which are now long gone. It costs 150 quid, I think, £200 above the price of the weapon for getting to get deactivated. But since the deactivation laws have changed. They're doing that little bit extra work, but they're charging the price again. So the prices of like your Leonfield number 4s, number 4 rifles with bog standard, £700 now, and they're just not worth it. They're not worth it, and they don't dry fire. But would it stop me buying one? Well, I've got one EU one, so they don't dry fire. You're never going to get them again, so you just have to put up with it, don't you? So is the Denix worth it? It depends what you're buying. I can't remember. I know you're not supposed to say how much the axe cost, do you? Try and scrub that. Forget I said that. And I won't say where I got it. And I won't say how much it is, but it's cheaper. So, for example, if you're wanting an MP40 for a display, you know, you're talking a lot of money to buy a deactivated one. A Denix one might fit the bill for you because they're a lot cheaper. Same with like STG 44s, MP44s. I've got an MP44 in Denix form. I could never afford a real one, and you know it'll be butchered to hell. So you know they have their purpose. Now, what have I done with this one? I don't know how it's coming across on the camera. I've aged it a bit. They have like an orangey sort of wood to them, Denix weapons. I haven't gone mad. I was trying to make it look like it had been in use, but not a great deal. You know, I just took a bit of the paint off, what have you. The sling that comes with the Denix, Denix have always got, there's always something about them. The sling that comes with the Denix Ppsh41 is pretty good actually. It's not bad. The only thing is it's a bit long. Why make it a bit long? Just make it how it should be. But what I did was I stumped up for a period piece. I think it's probably 1950s Cold War, but it is a Soviet sling. And I remember reading on a forum somewhere, World War forum, that quite often they'd put them through the barrel jacket there rather than on there, especially with it being Denix. You see that moving there, that could just snap off. So it's on there, fairly safe. It's quite solid at the bottom where it goes. Why? I've had a look, and as I've said before, I work in engineering, and you can see that gap. And I did try to fiddle around with it. In the end, I just thought, well, it sits on display. But I mean, if you were a reenactor, it just, because when they fired them, they held them like that, I believe. And it just, why didn't you make it so it fits in properly? Don't know whether it would take a real box drum mag. This has got no workings in it at all. Whether it would take a stick mag, I don't know. But why didn't they make that gap? I mean, it has a, see there, you get your finger in there. There would be a way of machining something or putting something in there without, you know, trying to make it like a real weapon or anything. Calm down, people. Just to make that sit there a bit more like it should. So we'll put that back in. Cock and dry fire, obviously. People always say to me, don't dry fire these things because they'll break. They're made of a bismatic alloy. Excuse me, oh, excuse me. Yeah, there's some sort of alloy, like die-cast models are made out of, but it does cock and it does click. Now, I don't know if it might sound a bit dull there, because what I did was, I mean, I aged the bolt a bit, but you can actually take these. You can sort of strip them a bit, if you like the real thing. The bolt, as you can see there, was just slamming up against the end of the barrel, and I thought, what a bad design that is. I mean, the STG 44, you can't get into it to do anything, so I just cut a circle of thick rubber, like a conveyor belt. So if you look, the bolt head doesn't go all the way into where it should do, because there's a bit of rubber in there. So when you just cock it, well, actually I do that if I cock it. It's like, just take the tension out of it so it doesn't break. But what do I think of it as a replica? I've never held a real one, but for the price you're paying for deactivated ones, and you do get dry fire ability, it always will be a replica. But stick a period sling on, and this is good for an East German DDR display, World War II Russian, World War II German. And yeah, I'm quite happy with it, to be honest. None of the selector switches move, but you know, it's good that it actually opens up. I didn't think it would do that, but yeah, not a bad little model really, because that's what they are. Would I go any further with the aging? Probably not. I think it looks all right as it is. for me anyway. So 15 minutes of me talking rubbish as always, and the camera didn't crap itself. So this is Stan. Shall we try the button? First time the button's been back. This is Stan, and I will see you in another video. Only another 332 to go now to get back to where I was. See you. You've been asleep for ages and it still won't work. Go off. It's just not doing it, is it? Now it's peeing down outside. Oh, I won't be able to go in the house. Turn off. Some things never change. See ya.